I was raised here in Baguio. That's why being here right now really brings back a lot of beautiful memories.
Phil, can you give us an insight in your early education?
My formative years was here in Baguio, and I believe it's quite an appropriate environment to have grown up and had my initial education here. They had beautiful schools here run by the nuns, mostly from Europe. After a short while, I found myself being an exchange student in Colorado. After that, I came back and I found myself going to the US again for a bit of my college years. Didn't quite finish college there, and came back here again, got involved with the studio, and before I knew it, I went back to University of Asia Pacific in Manila again. But at the same time, I also had a bit of an experience in Spain, studied there in their sister school in Navarra, Pamplona, for a short while as well. And at this stage in my life, I still want to continue my education. I think at the end of the day, I want to be a student of life, constantly learning. I think there's so much to learn in life, and why should we stop, right? There's so many beautiful schools to go to in the world, even for our workshops, like what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Probably for TV production or photography or advanced management courses. Those are still part of my bucket list.
Phil, describe your memorable experiences here in Baguio, especially when you were growing up.
That's quite a number of decades ago, bro.
Sa questionnaire, eh, no?
In retrospect, Baguio is always a memorable place for me. It certainly brings back a lot of beautiful, unforgettable memories. The growing up years here with my family and friends along the way that we've met are certainly very much a part of who I am today. One of the things I cannot forget in this place is certainly the getting into a lot of sports. It's part of the culture of Baguio to get into different kinds of sports. So I got into the swimming team. My first love was actually riding horses. It's one of those things, and we have a lot of numerous trails. Basketball was the same thing. I certainly enjoyed doing basketball here. Martial arts is one of the things that people here from Baguio love to do. So at a very young age, my siblings and I, we were already involved with martial arts.
So can you tell me more about your experience here in Baguio?
It's a big family that I grew up in. 5 boys and 1 girl. And I believe Baguio is really a perfect environment to have grown up or to rear a family. It's an excellent environment, especially at the time. I grew up here during the 70s and 80s, and it was a beautiful time and era to rear children, I believe. And back then it was not as polluted as it is today. I remember it also instigated sports, getting closer to my siblings. We spent a lot of time playing around here. It's a beautiful playground. Though there were many times my dad was not present, because during that time it was always the father that would always try to solely be the provider, especially financially. Unlike today, it's both parents trying to help out. But we never really felt that we totally missed him, because every time that he was around, there was a lot of advices, a lot of lessons that he would constantly teach us, principles, values, the type of a character that we should become. So definitely my dad is a major influence in my life and what I am today. The balance that I have found in my core and my center, many of my strongly held beliefs, is actually very much because of my parents. That really was important. It was part of the core value of what the family stood for and represented. But for my mom, certainly, in retrospect, she made everything so complete. She was always there for us. She was the perfect mom. That's why perhaps it took us forever looking for the right women to marry, my siblings and I. It's because of the standards that we had. It was always trying to look for somebody very much like our mother. She represented the kind of a woman that we wanted in our lives as well. And I'm very fortunate. Not everybody, as I get to know more people these days, not everybody has the same fortune or blessing that I had. with my siblings, that we grew up in that kind of family environment. We were very protected. We had a lot of beautiful sports, and environment here was very good even for education. Even our nannies spoke very well in English. They were very educated as well. So that was a good fertile ground to grow up and to get educated.
Where did you get your inspiration in pursuing your hobby?
Well, as you know, Ray, I have quite a number of hobbies, quite diverse at that. But if what you mean is the medium that you've chosen with you in the art of photography, perhaps one of the major things that really made an impact was when I was an exchange student. At the age of 16 in high school, I went to Colorado, and I lived with a foster dad and a foster family there. I remember Tom Courtney, my foster dad and my foster parents, especially Tom. He was very much avid photographer. He taught me how to take landscape photography, and Colorado is a very picturesque place to do landscape. Colorado Springs and Boulder and all of those places in Colorado. He also taught me how to develop black and white film. He had a dark room in the house. So that was initially the start of my falling in love more seriously with photography. At the time in my life, I was pretty introverted. So I did a lot of landscape and nature, fine arts photography more than portraits. But eventually I ended up in portraits, and you were very much a part of that when we had opened up a studio in Green Hills.
What studio is this?
This was called Veloira Studio.